Dear brothers and sisters, today I want to tell you an extraordinary story, a story of faith and miracles, a story that has the power to amaze and deeply inspire us. When we think of a man known for his ferocity and indifference to religion, a dictator capable of persecuting believers with relentless cruelty, we cannot help but think of Stalin, the secretary of the Soviet Communist Party, who distinguished himself for the atrocities he committed and his fight against all forms of religion. Now, imagine that this man was touched by divine grace through the apparition of the Madonna. Yes, I am talking about Stalin, the ruthless tyrant, the Iron Man who persecuted priests and turned churches into people's houses, destroying every sacred symbol. Something incredible happened during one of the darkest moments of World War II, and Stalin became the protagonist of events that remained secret for a long time, and now shed new light on those years. Let's proceed in order and see how a miraculous apparition of the Madonna transformed history and brought an unexpected turn during a period of great darkness and despair. In June 1941, Nazi Germany launched a devastating attack against the Soviet Union, deeply surprising and disconcerting Stalin. Stalin, who had signed a non-aggression pact with Hitler in 1939, found himself betrayed and paralyzed by terror. The German army advanced triumphantly, and Russia's fate seemed sealed. In a moment of extreme despair, Stalin retreated into oppressive silence, unable to respond to the imminent threat. Germany, with lightning speed, was reaching the borders of Moscow, bringing destruction and death. But just when all seemed lost, something incredible happened. On July 3rd, Stalin addressed the nation with a speech that left everyone astonished. He abandoned his usual revolutionary rhetoric and addressed the Russian people with an unprecedented "brothers and sisters." This Christian language was unexpected from a man who had persecuted the church with satanic cruelty. This speech marked the beginning of a radical change. In the following weeks, Stalin ordered a return to the old Tsarist practices, commanding the troops to charge into battle shouting, "Forward with God." He reopened churches and monasteries, freed priests, and reinstated military chaplains. One of the most shocking actions was the exhumation of the icon of Our Lady of KAZAN, the protector of Russia, and its procession through the besieged cities of Leningrad, Moscow, and Stalingrad. This icon, considered a sacred treasure of the Russian people, became the focal point of spiritual resistance against the Nazi invader. This seemingly inexplicable turn found its root in an extraordinary event that took place far from Russia, in Lebanon. The Orthodox Metropolitan Elijah, concerned about the fate of Holy Russia, secluded himself in prayer for 3 days and 3 nights in the crypt of his cathedral, invoking the Mother of God. On the 3rd day, the Queen of Heaven appeared to him in a vision, conveying divine instructions: reopen the churches, free the priests, and carry the icon of Our Lady of KAZAN in procession through the besieged cities. Elijah wrote a letter to his Russian brethren, and thanks to the intercession of General Boris Shaposhnikov, this letter reached Stalin. The dictator, struck by the prophecy, decided to follow the divine directives. What began as a desperate attempt to mobilize the Russian people turned into an incredible religious awakening. The apparition of Our Lady of KAZAN not only offered hope, but became a symbol of resistance and faith. The processions with the icon, organized with the cooperation of the atheist party, galvanized the troops and the people, instilling courage and determination. This spiritual awakening helped strengthen Russian resistance, ultimately leading to victory against the Nazi forces. Initially, historians interpreted Stalin's religious openness as an attempt to revert to the old ways of Tsarist Russia, seeking to unite the people in the deepest feelings of faith and nationalism. But with the revelation of Metropolitan Elijah's vision and the apparition of Our Lady of KAZAN, we can say there was much more behind these gestures towards the church and faith by Stalin. It was not just a political calculation, but a response to a divine sign. The tangible proof of this extraordinary story manifested even after the war. In 1947, Metropolitan Elijah received one of the highest honors of the Soviet Union, the Stalin Prize. This prize, considered the Soviet equivalent of the Nobel, was awarded annually not only to artists and scientists, but also to those who had rendered important services to the Soviet Union and the cause of socialism. The decision to award this prize to an Orthodox prelate, unknown in Russia and seemingly unrelated to the regime, caused much perplexity. Why him? Why would a Lebanese metropolitan, with no apparent connection to socialism or Soviet politics, receive such an honor? The answer lies in the extraordinary story of the vision and divine directives he communicated to Stalin. This award, without an apparent logical explanation, confirms the veracity of the miraculous event. Despite his gratitude for the honor, Metropolitan Elijah refused the monetary prize, asking that it instead be allocated to Russian war orphans. This choice not only highlighted his devotion and humility, but also reinforced the credibility of his vision and the divine instructions he transmitted. This story of faith and miracle offers us a lesson in hope. Even in the darkest moments when all seems lost, the light of faith can shine and guide us. The Madonna of KAZAN shows us that fervent prayer and devotion can bring about extraordinary changes, even in the most unlikely circumstances. Many have wondered why the Madonna would help Soviet Russia. Why favor an atheist country propagating its ideology worldwide? To this, we can respond that we clearly do not know God's plans. But at the same time, by analyzing history, we can easily deduce that the Soviet Union was fundamental, along with the United States, in defeating Nazi Germany. If Russia had fallen under the Nazi regime, the outcome of World War II would likely have been very different. It's true that we cannot read God's mind, but we can understand how the apparition of Our Lady of KAZAN contributed to defeating the great Nazi evil. Dear brothers and sisters, let us always remember that divine grace is powerful and can manifest in the most unexpected ways. Let us never forget that God has not abandoned us and acts in ways we often cannot comprehend, because His plan does not always coincide with what we can see. The story of Our Lady of KAZAN and Stalin is a powerful example of how faith can transform even the hardest hearts and the most desperate situations. The story of Our Lady of KAZAN shows us that in times of pain and despair, only God can give us the strength and courage to face life, the awareness that we are not alone, and that our existence is part of a much larger design that does not end here on earth. Let us know in the comments if you knew this extraordinary story, and share your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new videos, and to become part of the community of faith and prayer. May God bless us all.